Howdy mates, good noontime, how are we all doing? It is Sunday, February 27th, 2021. I'm just speaking a little quietly just to respect the other people who are here and even the wildlife that lives in this area. So actually right now we're visiting a place called the 6 Mile Cypress Slough, which is based in Fort Myers, Florida. So this entire preserve is designated as boardwalk path. And you may be wondering, when you hear the word slough, some of you may be wondering what exactly does that mean. Well, a slough, in a sense, it's like a type of wetland, but the difference is with a slough, the water levels tend to vary, depending on the time of the year. So like, since we're in the dry season, the water levels are a lot lower. But when it's in the wet season, on the other hand, the water levels are a lot higher. So like right now, you can see that, the water is about medium. Considering the time of the year that it is, the water level seems a little unusual, but I mean, water is always present most of the time. Now, the predominant type of tree that you will find here is the Bald Cypress. Now, what's particularly neat about this tree is they're the only known deciduous conifer in the world. So that basically means, I'm sure they're not the only, but they're one of the most recognized. So that basically means, as a conifer, they will actually lose their leaves as it approaches late fall, even going into the winter. And their leaves are typically indicated by a bundle of needles, all in a basically like a pinnate arrangement. So this is actually a sapling. This is a young one. But the Bald Cypress is actually a very resilient tree. And you may be wondering, how is that the case? Well, the Bald Cypress is actually rot resistant. So that means these trees don't really decay like most other trees. And with that being the case, the Bald Cypress was actually a highly sought after tree because of its durability for building materials. But since this is a designated preserve, that is not allowed. Now, a lot of these Bald Cypress in here are somewhat younger. They might only be a few decades old, because back in the 1920s, this area was actually logged quite a bit, due to development in the past. And there's only a few Bald Cypress trees in this area that have actually remained unscathed. Now, the thing is to know about the Bald Cypress, too, in addition, is you may have noticed it just a moment ago. Let me show you guys. Here we go. You may have noticed just a little bit ago that Bald Cypress produces these knees right here. That's essentially their, what you call, foundation. Now, what's fascinating about the cypress knees is, we still don't fully understand why the trees do that. Like, why they produce those knees and then eventually produce the tree in due time. We still really don't know, because for most trees, that's a very unusual characteristic, and you can only find that with Bald Cypress. But in addition to about the tree, is it's actually the host plant for an endangered orchid called the ghost orchid. And a great place that you can see that, the ghost orchid, is in the Corkscrew Sanctuary, basically as you approach down into the Everglades. But I don't think you'll really see them here, just because the Bald Cypress down in this area isn't really old enough. But just look at this, you guys. It's a really neat preserve, and you will find plenty of wildlife here in addition. So I mean, you really get your time's worth when you visit a place like this, and you just really have a glimpse of old Florida too, in addition. So these sloughs that we're in, you know, they can act as one big, large-scale reservoir for any rainwater that occurs, thus preventing high amounts of runoff and flooding. And it also helps filter the water too. So those are just to name off a few good reasons to keep these sloughs. So alright, you guys, thanks for watching, and once again, Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya.